Look here, there's a reason that banks invest billions of dollars into fraud prevention, anti-money laundering systems, and entire risk teams. The moment you hit send on Zelle, that money moves faster than fraud teams can stop it. But here's the thing. People think P2P apps are harmless, and they think Zelle is safe because it's connected to their bank. And they also think that scams only happen to careless people. But after working in banking for years and watching case after case get escalated to fraud teams, here's the truth. All it takes is one phone call, one panic, and that single moment can cause you to lose your entire paycheck. When I first started in corporate banking, I didn't realize how big Zelle scams actually were. I thought they were just occasional. Fraud teams aren't just analysts that are sitting behind the cubicle. These are people that are sitting in front of walls of monitors that look like air traffic control systems. They're tracking device fingerprints, login behaviors, velocity patterns, and real-time Zelle activity. The level of sophistication that these teams operate is unbelievable. And the fact that scammers still get through with it tells you how dangerous this space really is. And there was one case that changed how I looked at Zelle forever, and I'll tell you about that one later on. First, let's start off with the rise of P2P apps. Let's start with the OGs, Zelle, Venmo, and Cash App. These apps changed how we move money with instant transfers. With a seamless transaction, speed cuts both ways. What's convenient for us is perfect for scammers. And once that money is sent, there's no chargebacks, there's no dispute windows, and there's no investigation. It's just gone instantly. Most scammers follow a pattern: a fake bank call, a spoof number, a fake landlord or buyer, or an urgent situation involving a family member. And sometimes they'll even persuade you that someone overpaid and that they need their money back. What they do is they try to tap into your emotions because they know a lot of people will fall for it. And these emotional pressure plays are designed to make you move before you have time to think. People lose $300, $3,000, and even $30,000, and they all say the same thing afterward. I never thought this would happen to me. That's why it's important for you to understand the psychology of how scammers win. The biggest weapon scammers use isn't technology, it's emotion. They use urgency so you don't have time to think. They use fear so your brain goes into fight or flight mode. And they use authority, pretending to be the bank so that you trust them. It's not about intelligence, it's about timing. There was one time where I was at work and one of the fraud analysts pulled me aside and said, "Josh, you want to see how fast someone can lose $4,000 through Zelle?" On his screen, he opens up a case from earlier that week. I then leaned in. A customer reported 3 unauthorized transactions adding up to $4,000 before he even finished his morning coffee. But what also made the fraud team pause was this. The man went into the Zelle's contacts and renamed the recipient Mom's Emergency. So when the victim logged back onto the app and checked this activity, it just looked like it was a normal transaction. Here's the part that most people don't know. Fraud teams can actually see this stuff happening. They can see the device fingerprint change, the logins from different locations, and a pattern of Zelle transfers that are firing off in rapid sequence. There's no pause button, there's no reversal, and there's no cool off period. That's why now you'll notice a lot of these P2P apps will ask you to approve the payment before you send it. And they'll try to have multiple layers of security so that they could try to prevent losses. And that is how these scams keep happening. But it's not because people are careless, but it's because scammers are strategic, patient, emotional, and incredibly intelligent. And I know for sure you didn't understand Zelle transfers before you watched this video. But guess what? It won't be the last one. So go ahead and tap that like and subscribe button. When you stick around here, you'll start to see money differently. Not as something that disappears, but something that you can control. And by the way, if you like content like this, I encourage you to check out this video above because it shows a different angle in fraud in my experience in banking. And it tells a different story about how people try to get away with it day by day. Once you watch it, let me know your thoughts. But as always, appreciate your continued support. Let's get back into it. The limits of bank protection. A lot of people don't understand the difference between authorized and unauthorized fraud. In the example earlier, I told you about how someone lost $4,000. That was when someone hacked into their account and sent the money out, but renamed the recipient. That is the perfect example of unauthorized fraud. And in that case, banks can help. But if you get pressured or manipulated to send someone else money through your own account, unfortunately, that's considered authorized. And banks, they almost never reverse those. And unfortunately, most Zelle victims fall into this second category. So here's what you should do to protect yourself. Number 1, always verify every contact before you send the money over. Number 2, never trust incoming calls, even if it looks like it's your bank. Number 3, hang up and call the number on the back of your card. Number 4, turn on transaction alerts so that you know every single dollar that leaves your account. And number 5, triple check the phone number before you send any type of payment. And most importantly, treat Zelle like cash. Once it's gone, it's gone. Now we're wrapping this up with some warning signs. If anyone is pressuring you to act fast, it's probably a scam. If anyone claims they overpaid you, it's definitely a scam. If someone on the phone is pretending to be a family member that's in trouble, just slow down and verify first. Any combination of those signs means that you should end the conversations immediately. And how I know? Because 5 years ago, this happened to me. Because also, in this video above, I told you about how I lost $11,000 due to a fraudster. P2P apps themselves aren't necessarily the problem. The problem is how sophisticated these criminals have become. Protect your account, educate your family, and slow down before you hit send. And please, please, please send this to your grandma, because the target of these scams are either Gen Z or baby boomers. Because the people who really understand the systems are always going to be the ones that stay protected. But drop a comment below. Has this ever happened to you, and what did you do about it? But as always, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.